Hello and welcome to the Startup Bipolar. We are going to share today a beautiful and brief lesson to help anyone during COVID that lives with depression, bipolar, or has been struggling in their life. The best and easiest lesson to share is that during times of tragedy, it may be hard to triumph. You may be trying to obtain a large amount of money, to have wonderful relationships, to see success in every endeavor that you're a part of. But our analysis, and especially my own life of learning, has taught me that during very tragic times, it is very difficult to find an amount of happiness and success that is what you deserve. And what I want to say about how vital you are as a human being is that it takes those that have the courage to continue, that find a path forward even during the darkest days, that allow the world to rebuild. Over the last many hundreds, if not thousands of years, all types of things have happened in the world. There have been wars, there have been plagues, there's been levels of illness, disease, loss, and atrocities that have went on generation after generation. And the lessons I've found from learning about some of these times are that it's up to you to wake up and do things to the best of your ability. And even on days you don't feel great, telling yourself, I've been through a really different, challenging time that I never anticipated. As an example, I looked at schools being closed, and I remember as a child living in New York, in Long Island, New York, as well as Manhattan, there were times we would have days off for snow. If it were to happen to be 4, 6, 8, 10, even 12 inches of snow, they would tell us in the morning on the news or by reaching out to us that the schools were going to be closed, usually for a day. If they were closed for 2 days or even 3 days, it was a really big storm that was not very common. And when I found during COVID that schools were closed for months, it became apparent that this was a different time in our history. And I want to say to anyone, whether you be in college, you've been in high school, you've been working, you're an older person in your 60s or 70s, it takes a lot of grace, kindness, and this is my son, Ryan. He's here with me. You want to say hi, Ryan?
Yeah, and kindness.
There you go. And he helps me, and I treat him with a lot of kindness because he had to miss school during COVID, and so have many other young people. This is their time, their generation to learn, to be able to gain knowledge, but their lives have been held back during COVID due to so many things. And this is a week, we are now in the beginning of September, and there was a storm and hurricane in Louisiana called Ida, and they've lost power for weeks and weeks. So not only have they been hit with COVID, been hit with stress financially, with pressure, with anxiety, but now there's a massive storm that blew in massive levels of water. And I said massive twice because there's 2 times as much stress to even go on. But in times in history, those that found the ability to rebuild were the ones that found a way slowly and steadily to say, this is hard, but I am going to try. And even if it isn't working well, I've made it this far. I say with depression, it can be hard to do that even in good times where someone has plenty of money or they have a good job or they have family that are wealthy. The depression can make everything look dark and gloomy. And I've thought to myself as a former therapist that did private counseling and then ended up building startups in this area, what would I tell someone that really is sharing the truth? COVID is in our world. Things have happened. Schools have closed. They're reopened now, but for months they were done. Things are different. They don't know how safe they are going around. They don't understand the long-term impact of COVID. Things like this are real. And for someone with depression, I just say to them and to you, thank you. Thank you for trying. Thank you for being honest. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for listening. Thank you for learning. Thank you for loving. And thank you for saying that it's hard to find the light. And I think when you validate someone and you help them understand that they have truth in them, that they have honesty, that they have integrity, that they know they can share what they feel. I want to also say with bipolar, which is literally, for those that aren't an expert, it goes up and down, your mood. You might be elated with happiness, joy, and then fall into the despairs and darkness of depression. And I think when I've watched stock markets go up and then down, or watch people's success have that way, or even businesses being hard to really catch on, or jobs that don't seem to last for many years. I used to have a friend that sold special things to companies where after many, many years, they would give a party or an event to someone that was with the company for 40 years or 25 or 30. And the amount of people that are doing that, hey, I went to school, I actually got a college degree, which is a huge accomplishment. And now I'm going to work at the same company for the rest of my career. It doesn't happen very often at all. So this has become more of an unstable, stressful world. And COVID just adds flames to a fire that is burning brim. And I'm here in California where there have been so many fires that even owning a home or living somewhere creates the dangers of what happens. So I want to tell you today that you are bright, you are brilliant, you have a valid purpose. And even if something seems low and simple to some, to you, it should be how great you are. We all have had honesty and courage to even be watching this, or listening to this, and to know that if you have children, if you have just yourself, you are the one that is trying day to day, and I honor and support you. And if I can share my energy in that way to know that you've held on, that you've hung through a really tough, dark time, it is to say that it doesn't always get easier, but there will be good days. There will be moments of happiness. There'll be moments of health. There'll be moments to cherish. As I sit here and look at my son who's 7, can you say hi, Ryan? He's saying silently hi because he doesn't want to talk too much. But even with him, I found doing joyful things, going to get an ice cream cone, going to take him to the park for an hour, letting him play on my phone while he watches videos he likes. Whatever those small moments, I hang on to them and I say, this is tough. This is real. And yes, this is reality. I want to thank you for watching this video. We have amazing content just for you, and it's free. During COVID, it is free for those that are listening, learning, and finding love again. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful